Hey there, what's going on, and welcome to a new video. So, in this video I'm going to be talking about how alt-friendly Shadowlands is. So I've just been leveling a rogue, as you can see from the background footage. It took about 10 hours to level the rogue from 50 to 60. I did have a group for a lot of it. I'm sure that can be done much quicker, but it was nice and casual, just did it as and when. And yeah, we had pug tanks for most of it as well. But I really enjoyed the experience. It was actually quite fun to just nuke through the dungeons and just turn my brain off a level, as opposed to having to go and quest all the way. You also have the Threads of Fate and things like that. You can really enjoy the leveling experience now, and you can actually progress, which is very, very nice. When you get to max level, you've got a couple of things you need to do to be able to kind of make your character more viable and catch your character up a little bit. The first one of those is renown. Obviously, once you've picked your covenant, you're going to need to get some renown with them. That's something that you will get through passive gameplay. I've literally been level 60 for 2-3 hours. I've already achieved a couple of renown levels, and the rest can be achieved over the next week or so. I'm not sure if I can get all the way to where everyone else is this week at renown 12. But I should be able to get pretty close. And that's really fun, is that actually being able to just passively catch up. It's really nice that it's in the game and you don't have to invest any major time into it other than playing the ult anyway. You then get world quests and callings. Now, if you want to go and do all the world quests, obviously it's going to take a long time. The callings, I've actually stopped doing them on my main just because they don't offer me any gear. And I'm not really that interested in them. I will do them on my rogue just because they can drop some decent level conduits until I can get into Mythic Pluses. But for now, it's just something that it takes around 20 to 40 minutes depending on which calling you get. I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you are going to do them every day, it's probably going to take you that sort of length of time every day. But otherwise, you don't have to worry about it too much. Now, obviously, if you're going for rep and you want to get as much rep as possible, you're going to need to do all the world quests and things like that. That will take much, much longer. If you're going to do that, I'd recommend going through the story mode instead of Threads of Fate. Threads of Fate instead of story mode, because you can start doing world quests earlier to get the reputation. You then got the legendaries. Now, the Soul Ash cap at the moment is 1,150 a week, I believe. That means you can craft almost one legendary a week. It's 1,250 to craft one. Each class that I've seen so far needs 2 or 3 for different specs and different roles within them, specs and things like that. So for me personally, there's 3 legendaries I'd like to craft. One is an outlaw specific one is a spec specific one, and one is a subtlety. One is a spec generic one, and one is a subtlety one. So I need 3 legendaries. That's going to take me around 3 weeks to do once I do all the catch-up Torghast quests as well. Because you go through the whole quest campaign, it still gives you around 800 Soul Ash, which means it will take me 3 weeks to get all 3 of my legendaries, which is fine with me. Torghast itself has just been nerfed. You can now run both layers at both layer 8s at around 40 minutes to do both. It's a really nice, simple, easy run, and you shouldn't ever be able to fail it now, as long as you go and farm everything, which is nice. I did this on my main druid, and pretty much just ran to the boss, popped Convoke, and killed him, which was also pretty nice. Makes it very easy, but actually I enjoyed it. So, and we have the endless mode for when we want to, or we will have the endless mode for when we want Torghast to get harder. So I think this is the perfect balance now with these nerfs, and I really enjoyed it. You will then have the Maw, which, if you just do the daily, should take you around half an hour at the most. If you do all the elites and things like that and try to be as efficient as possible, it will take you a lot longer again. But it depends if you want to just do the bare minimum every day, you want to do everything, or whatever. If you want to do everything, you're talking maybe 4 or 5 hours worth of gameplay once you do all the world quests, all the heroics if you're that low, or the mythic zeros, or all that sort of stuff. It really depends how hard you want to try. For me, about half an hour to an hour's worth of gameplay every day will get me caught up with everything I want to do. And the weekly stuff, then you have Torghast, which should take, obviously your gear will be a little lower, so it might take you sort of 40 minutes to an hour to do both. But again, it shouldn't be that hard. So all in all, Shadowlands has been as alt-friendly as it's promised to be so far, I think. Blizzard made it very abundantly clear that they wanted Shadowlands to be alt friendly, and an alt at the moment is going to cost you around 30 minutes to an hour a day, at the very most, honestly, to play. Getting gear seems as hard on your alt as it is on your main. Obviously, you will be behind the curve, so getting into the things like the Mythic Plus groups is going to be a bit tougher. But we've just had LFR. Obviously, as more LFR wings come out, you'll be able to get a bit of gear from there and things like that. So I think, honestly, alts are as good as Blizzard told people they would be. So I think it's something that Blizzard have actually lived to their promise, and yeah, I'm going to carry on with my rogue, and I will leave comments either in the description or the comment section just to say how I'm getting on with it, and if there's anything I've forgotten in this. But what do you guys think? Have you guys done any alts yet? Is there anything that you dislike about having an alt? Does the fact that you can't go and instantly craft a legendary annoy you? You should be able to craft one on your first week with the catch-up missions, but again, does that frustrate you? You can only craft one and you can't upgrade it or anything like that. Should there be a catch-up mechanic? Let me know in the comments and see what they say. Okay, thanks guys. Thank you for watching. I do really appreciate everything so far, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye, guys.